There's a quote in your release about this from a partner saying that this is helping them both make lending more, the lending process more transparent and sell vehicles at a higher profit. How is that possible? Because as a buyer, if you make the process transparent to me, I'm going to try to get as low a price as possible.
Yeah, it's a great question. There's pretty much nobody happy about the car buying experience today, either consumers or dealers. So there's a lot of room for fixing, if you will. And, the whole notion of what we do at Upstart, AI-based lending, is with more accurate models, you can actually reduce loss rates and improve or reduce the prices that consumers pay for credit, while at the same time reducing loss rates enough to make it sort of work for everybody. So in the auto industry, in the car retailing and in financing business, there's just so much inefficiency that the models that we've built can make it a much better process and a much better product for the consumer, but at the same time, make it also more profitable, more efficient for car dealers.
So what is the AI able to do that the existing systems can't? Because from what you say, it must be not offering credit to people who seem creditworthy but really wouldn't pay, and offering credit to people who looked like they weren't creditworthy but actually are. Is that what's happening, and how is the AI able to do that?
Yeah, the whole premise of our business is that credit origination is antiquated. The FICO score was invented 30 years ago, and it's a very blunt, inaccurate tool for identifying who's creditworthy. And that really means most of us are paying too much for credit because of all the inefficiencies and the leaks in the system. With an AI-based system where there's a lot more data, a lot more sophisticated math, you can accurately predict who can pay back a loan and who's not likely to. And when you sort of push forward on that model, which we've been doing for years now, in the end, you can have a far better rate, a far better credit outcome for the consumer, all else being equal, even with loss rates being lower than they were. So it's sort of a win-win opportunity. And it's because, AI is never perfect, but the credit score-based model we've all been using for decades is just terribly inaccurate and inefficient.
Hey, Dave, one thing that I've not heard explained well is why there's such an emphasis on financing right now, especially in the buy now, pay later space, given that households in aggregate have unprecedented levels of cash. How does the model take that dynamic into account?
Yeah, the general buy now, pay later space that you hear so much about these days, I think is a little more of a payment play than a lending play, in the sense of it's really going after that kind of Visa, MasterCard oligopoly, if you will, and really looking at a different way for consumers to pay for something. There is, of course, a bit of lending in there. You pay in 4 payments, et cetera. But generally, smart models understand the environment they're operating in, and that's what our model always attempts to do. What is the unemployment situation out there? What is the consumer debt load situation? What sort of trends are we seeing? And these are kind of things that a modern day system can understand and react to and be responsive to, so that at the right moment in time, it is giving the right offer to the right person, or conversely not giving an offer to the person. And that's ultimately what better math, better data science can do.